all I can say to people is hopefully you're prepared. But if you're staying in your house, which I'm sure most of the residents are in Jamaica, have a safe room somewhere in the corner of your house. Have it maybe a mattress that you can put over your head. You know, we talked about that during Michael Bill with one of the people that we ran into there. Um, you really need to have a safe room set up in your house because you're going to experience winds and velocities and pressure on your house that you've never experienced in your life. And it's not going to
what you need in that safe room.
Yeah, it's not going to be like the other. Actually, I was going to start out the show tonight by talking about this. The history of hurricanes, and let's use Negril for an example. Negril, Jamaica. Um, they've been hit by uh, nine major hurricanes since 1871. Nine major hurricanes. Now, the problem I have with the classification of what constitutes a direct hit is where the eye has to pass over you, and that's not what a hit is. A hit is when you get the core. It could be a part of the core, it could be half of the core, it could be three-quarters of the core, it could be the entire core, which would mean that you got the eye passing over you. So if you get a quarter of this core for at least a few hours, you're going to have violent wind that you've never experienced before, and you will have been hit by a major hurricane. And again, they've been hit by nine majors, so that's once every 17 years on average. So uh, I can go through the majors here real quickly. In 1903, they had a 120 mile per hour wind hurricane hit from the east southeast. In 1912, they had in November, believe it or not, on November 18th, they had a 115 mile an hour hurricane hit from the west southwest, and very high tides killed 100 people in Jamaica during that hurricane, and it was coming from the southwest like this one is. That was nothing near the intensity of this. That was 115 mile per hour winds. 20,000 homes were destroyed in western Jamaica in that hurricane. 1915, 115 mile an hour hurricane came from the east southeast. 1935, another 115 mile per hour wind hurricane hit just west from the south, hit just west of Negril. In 1951, Hurricane Charlie, 125 mile per hour winds hit from the east southeast. 154 people were killed in Jamaica. 50,000 were left homeless from that one. 1988, Hurricane Gilbert hit from the east southeast. 115 mile per hour winds killed 23 in Jamaica. 2004, Hurricane Ivan scraped the south coast, 145 mile per hour winds. Heavy damage in the western areas of Jamaica. I'm getting feedback, Bill.
Shouldn't be.
Yeah, I'm hearing myself on your end over there.
It's coming off the iPad.
And then, of course, last year, Hurricane Beryl scraped the south coast with 130 mile per hour winds. Brushed south by 28 miles, but they had 130 mile per hour winds on the south coast last year from Hurricane Beryl. So there have been quite a few majors that have hit Jamaica, even though the media is only making it sound like it was one or two. So it's a rich hurricane history in Jamaica for major hurricanes. 9 hurricanes since 1871. That's once every 17 years. So just wanted to start with that. We're talking the grill here. We're talking Western Jamaica. They've had 9 majors since 1871. Now, a lot of these people weren't alive for a lot of these, going back prior to 1951. So modern times, there's only been a few, but there have been quite a few majors that have hit the grill Jamaica. So just wanted to get that out of the way.
No more feedback, Jim. I turned it down.
Okay, yeah, there was a lot of whatever you were doing on your phone. It was echoing through the broadcast. I think it was maybe your hands. I don't know how that's working at your end over there.
That should stop. I turned it down.
Okay, good deal. All right, so it's currently 8:09. Again, Jim Williams here with Bill Phillips. tomorrow morning is the day. This is going to be. Let me get our split screen up. Oh, we got it on the split screen. This is going to be. Right now is the time to get yourself situated in your house, figure out where you're going to stay. And then tomorrow morning, this is all going to go down. Probably, Bill and I have been talking about this during the day, texting back and forth. Probably the Corps is going to arrive around 8, maybe 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock. And then by 9, 10 a.m., the eye will be on shore and it'll be moving across Jamaica and exiting the coast in the afternoon. So it's going to be picking up a little bit of forward speed, which is good news. But uh, it's going to start. You're going to have all night tonight. You could sleep good tonight. This is going to be your last night of good sleep in Jamaica. This is it. Get your sleep tonight. Tomorrow, it's get ready for war because it's going to be really bad. And the aftermath is going to go on for probably weeks, especially even longer in the areas that get the core of this hurricane. It's going to be probably a month, maybe before some of these people even get power back. The airports are going to be interesting. It might split the uprights between Kingston, the Norman Manley Airport in Kingston, and the Montego Bay Airport on the north coast. Those are the only two ways out of there, from what I understand. And this is going to split the uprights. So hopefully those airports will get damaged, but not that much to where they can't open up within a week or so. But the rest of the island, the core, the center of that island, and the western portions of that island is going to be devastated. It's going to be worse than anything anybody's ever seen in Jamaica.
Do you think this includes Gilbert that went there from east to west? Well, it does because Gilbert was a 3 at the time. I take that back.
Oh, will it be worse than Gilbert? Absolutely.
This is a 5. I had to think. I shouldn't have even said that. I know better now. It's a 3.
All right, the 8 p.m. is in. Let's go ahead and read this here. I'm sorry. Let me go back to your shot.
Let them see the text. They don't need to see me.
Okay, here we go. All right, so the 8 p.m. advisory is out. We have same winds, 175 miles per hour. It's 155 miles southwest of Kingston, Jamaica. That's why things are so peaceful. I was just looking at the live cam shot, and it's raining, but it's typical 15, 20 mile an hour winds. Nothing dramatic going on there right now. The motion, it's 175 mile an hour winds. That has not changed. It is moving northwest now at 2 miles per hour, so it's still just crawling along. And that's why I think the landfall is going to be a little bit later tomorrow morning than what, a lot of me hearing 5 a.m. I just don't think it's going to be near the coast at 5 a.m. I think it's going to be more like 8, where the core starts coming on shore.
I mean, if this doesn't pick up, I think it could be even 9 or 10.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to try to get my work done early tomorrow morning and then try to get back here to cover this by 9, 10, 11, whenever this core is starting to move on shore. But I'll get to that in a minute. Pressure 909 millibars, 26.85. So really
That's
nothing.
Come up. It was lower than that.
Was it? I think it. Wait a minute.
It was 906.
That's right, 906. Yep, you're right.
Now we're splitting hairs. I mean, 909 is no joke.
Yeah, there was a lot of chatter online today about, getting down into the 800s. It could still happen because at nighttime, you got the diurnal effect of hurricanes. They seem to like nighttime, to strengthen. So let's pull up the satellite real quick here and take a look at this.
But the $1 million question with this system is, do we have an eyewall replacement cycle either tonight or right before landfall? We've not had one yet, and that surprises me.
Yeah, it's surprising me too. We were talking about this last night about the wind, the gaps in the Hurricane Hunter reports of where you look for a moat developing, and that's where there's calmer winds around the eye wall. And a lot of times you can see that in the satellite imagery where you can see like a black ring. Oh, I don't have my, let me get my telestrator going here. I don't have that open right now. Let me get back on camera here. So, let's see. What am I doing here? Okay, got it up here. All right. So what you look for is like a moat developing out. Let me get the shot up here. Looking for like a moat in this red circle. Like, Bill, what are you doing over there, dude? It sounds like a hurricane in your office.
It's picking. You mean to tell me I can't hear it? It's picking up everything?
Yeah, it's everything you're doing. Like you're scraping on something and you're,
all right.
I don't know what you're.
Jeez, that's a problem.
Yeah, it's real loud. And maybe turn the volume. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
All right.
Anyway, you're looking for a moat like this. And I'm not seeing it on the satellite here. It looks pretty symmetrical. There's the brightness of the clouds is all equally distributed around the eye. So it does not look, and the hurricane hunters mentioned this, by the way, there has not been any indication that we're seeing an eyewall replacement cycle. So it's just white around the eye right now. Maybe
I mean, this is a buzzsaw right now. This is the buzzsaw mode.
Yeah. I mean, maybe something here beginning just slightly. There's might be an indication there's just a real skinny little dark circle. Maybe that's the beginning of an eyewall replacement cycle. When you put it in motion, you can see it there.
But we thought that last night and it didn't happen.
Right. Because we were looking at the hurricane hunters, and you can see this. Let me pull up the hurricane hunters here.
Hurricane hunter reconnaissance.
No, don't see it tonight. What you look for on the hurricane hunters is see all these yellow barbs. Those are all hurricane force winds inside this circle right here. And last night there was a gap right there and right there of lesser.
You don't see that tonight.
Yeah, lesser winds, and you don't see that tonight. So, you know, there was an indication maybe it was trying last night, and it didn't. And we're not seeing that tonight at all. It's solid yellow across. Again, that's
by the way. Hats off to the C-130s and the Hurricane and the NOAA P-3s. They've gotten their ass kicked today. Good job.
Yeah. So explain what happened to them today.
There was some turbulence in the southwestern Eyewall, not the northeast, that they had to abort the mission. They had to leave. They got the shit beat out of them.
And there was also birds reported in the eye?
Yeah, I mean, you explained to me that's common, and I've heard that before, but you only see that in the real intense ones. I think Michael had a few, although we didn't see it by the time it got to Callaway. But that's common in majors.
What I don't understand, about birds in the eye is how did they get in there first of all? Because if you're going to say that they got trapped when it was in the development stages, what were the birds doing out in the middle of the ocean when it was developing? I don't really understand that, and it hasn't really hit any land, so they had to have flown in there. Right? I mean,
I can understand getting trapped on land where maybe you're looking for protection and you follow it. I've seen that.
Well, that was going to be my next point. So if it hits land, are they going to try to take refuge in as it's making land? I mean, they would get beat all to hell because when any object lands and the eye wall comes in, it's going to kill you. It's going to nail you. Like the bird would be, what is it? If it hung in a tree, it would get killed. What's it going to do? Hide in a house? Like it's got to find something to hide behind, maybe, or something. I don't know. I don't know. Somebody should.
I mean, these winds. Any bird that tries to take a refuge in a tree. I mean, you're talking 165, 175 with gusts to maybe 200. You're going to have trees uprooted and literally the bark stripped off of them. There's going to be nowhere for these birds to hide.
Yeah, so what are they going to do? Just stay in the hurricane and fly till it dissipates or something? I don't think they could survive that.
No.
It's an interesting. If you really want to wrap your brain around birds in the eye of a hurricane, it'll make your head explode because I just can't imagine where there's an escape route there.
That's an end of season show topic that we'll bring back. I'm going to research that a little bit.
Yeah, because I mean, the only option is for them to land on shore when it hits Jamaica tomorrow morning. They take refuge in the calm somewhere. Maybe find a building and hide behind it or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's an interesting. But anyway, they did find 195 mile per hour winds at the surface today in one of the recon reports I saw. So that's absolutely incredible.
And hats off to the Google DeepMind for nailing this intensity.
Yeah, I'll get to the models in a minute because it's all academic at this point. But yeah, the Google DeepMind and the Google DeepMind and the AI Euro AI were outstanding on this.
Smoked it.
So yep, surface winds 132 miles an hour. Let's see. I'm trying to find the highest surface winds right now. There's the SFMR of 163 right near the northwest Eyewall.
And what jet is that? Is that a P3 or the C-130?
That's the WC-130 Hercules.
Interesting. They must have calibrated it.
No, I read that the NOAA 2, they don't like to use the SFMR, but on the Hercules, they don't have a way to turn it off or something like that. Yeah, peak surface wind 163. Let's see what else I can find here. This is on the northwest quad. 147, 120. Yeah, as you get further away, it's like 90. Yeah, 67. Yeah, it gets weaker and weaker. Now let's go on the west side. West side 96. Ooh, SFMR 187 on the west side.
I don't know if I believe that on the west.
188. There's 188 on the west side. And that's like 5 miles to the west of the eye.
Okay.
It's not too far. It's possible. I mean, when you have a symmetrical system like that, there really is no difference in the wind between the east and the west side. I mean, it does the same thing. In fact, the winds are stronger on the west side going further out.
And I'm going to go ahead and make a statement right now. Even if this weakens down to a 4 for whatever reason in the morning, it doesn't matter. The impacts will be the same with a system that's strong.
Right. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I mean, again, I was in Category 4 conditions in Michael. I admit that, even though there's some chasers out there that'll say, I was in a Cat 5, even though you weren't really in a Cat 5 because the Cat 5 winds were like right on the beach on the south side, and the rest of the area didn't get Cat 5 winds. So I was experiencing Cat 4, and it was like a sledgehammer, just a constant like an angry cat. The winds. It's just like every minute, it's like a roar that just it's just relentless.
When the wind gets over 100 miles an hour, it has an evil pitch to it. It just changes.
Yeah, but that pitch changes even worse when it's major. That wind, it's like a hand. I wish I had a way to describe it. There is no way to describe it. It would be like, I just don't have any analogy for that.
Well, I would call. Let me give you a Michael experience. It was like the big bad wolf just not stopping, trying to take down your house, because that storm never stopped. I tell you, you didn't have that. It's not constant. You had gusts, but it was 70 to 80 with gusts 120. Michael, being a Cat 4, was just a relentless onslaught for 3.5 hours.
Yeah, and yeah, it's definitely, and the reason for that roaring that comes on every minute in a major like this is because the winds are mixing down to the surface, and it's like I don't know, like you've heard of a downdraft or a microburst in a thunderstorm. It's like that, but it's so much more violent. It's almost like a tornado hitting you every minute. It's basically what it is. It's like a tornado hitting you every minute, and you hear it coming, and it's relentless, and it goes on for, in this case, it'll go on for hours. Think about that. It'll just
get some sleep, get some food. And if you're watching from Jamaica, which I doubt, but if that were me, because this is what we do, this is what I do before hurricanes if I have the time, do something else. Turn off the TV, watch a movie, watch if you're into baseball, watch the World Series game that's on right now. Do something else.
Yeah, you'll drive yourself crazy with the coverage, listening to the news, your blood pressure. They should do a study on this about how many people die in hurricanes from the stress of the hurricane itself. Not the hurricane itself, but the stress before, during, and after. How many people die of heart attacks from being freaked out? I would be willing to bet you it's a huge part of the death count that's uncounted, because in hurricane deaths, they count people that are either physically killed by the hurricane, they count people that drown, they count people that get electrocuted, get chainsaw cuts, and the aftermath. They count those, but I don't think they count people that just drop dead from a heart attack. So I think a lot of people are going to get. It's the best thing, like Bill just said. Turn off the TV, or just even the TV. If you're watching a game, they're going to be scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Like, just turn the TV off for a night. Get a good night's sleep. Yep. Eat a good meal, a nice hot meal, and
if you want a beer, just don't go overboard with it. Fine, have a glass of rum, have a beer. That's fine. Just don't go nuts with it.
Yep.
Relax. It's on point.
So let's look at the track again of the landfall projections. So here is the current position of Hurricane Melissa. And at 2 a.m. this morning, 2 a.m. in the morning, it'll be 50. I should draw a scale on this here. Let's see. Let me just quickly draw a real quick scale on this. Okay, so it'll be about 70 miles south of Jamaica at 2 o'clock in the morning. And it's going to come in, according to the NHC projections, it's going to come in around Treasure Beach somewhere, give or take, on this map. So let me draw that. It has it coming in like this. So
I'd like to see them use a different reference point than Kingston, to be honest.
well, yeah, I guess, yeah, it's
That's
misleading. I
maybe
mean,
nitpicky. Maybe I shouldn't say that.
no, you're right because it's 155 miles away, and it's getting further and further away from Kingston. There are people are like,
That's
what are we?
the problem. I don't like, give me the grill or give me Treasure Beach or Mandeville, maybe. I don't know.
So, assuming it takes this track that I just drew, let's draw 35 miles. It's right on the edge of Portsmore, Port Henderson, Flatbridge, but not Kingston, not the airport, not the where the major population centers are. It's just short of the major population centers when it passes off to the northwest tomorrow during the day.
Just my opinion. This is a flood story for Kingston.
Yeah, it's going to be a flood story. Absolutely. I don't even think they're going to get hurricane force winds. This would be equivalent to like when Andrew hit South Florida, being in Broward County for Kingston. But
now, if you get 12 hours of 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts with this kind of rain, it will cause problems. It's going to be a bad day, but not catastrophic.
Oh, there's going to be a ton of trees down. Yeah, a ton of trees.
Yes.
There's going to be tremendous amounts of flooding. I'll show you the flood map, the rain totals. I didn't show that last night. I forgot to get to that last night.
We're going to do that tonight.
Remind me if I don't. Okay. But again, you circle this around and go 30 miles to the west, and it's the same thing. The grill does not get the hurricane force wind field. Let's take the point of approach, Treasure Beach, just for kicks, and go 35 miles. And remember, it's a little less on the west side than the winds extend out on the east side. Even though on the recon it's showing it's just about even between the east side and the west side of the eye. We're talking over towards maybe Savannah, Lamar. We'll get hurricane force winds, but anything beyond that towards Montego Bay, not Montego Bay, Negril, Kingswood, Orange Bay, where you see the people jumping in the swimming pool off the rocks in the grill, that will not get hurricane force winds. So the bad news from a coverage perspective of us is there's going to be no cameras where the worst of this is happening. We're going to be flying blind tomorrow on this. So
we're still going to show you Kingston, although it's going to be tropical storm conditions, is what you're going to be looking at in Kingston. We won't have anything else.
So by tomorrow afternoon, well, actually at 2 p.m., it still has it just on shore. And that's why I'm thinking this might be a little later because they're having it at 2 p.m. They have it like over Josh Morgan's hotel at 2 p.m., the Eye.
I'm not sure I'd buy that. I think it's going to be a little bit later than that.
Well, no, the Eye will be over him. So that means the Eye probably won't even come on shore till like 11 or 12. So I'm thinking we might not even...
We've said that all day.
We might not even need to start the coverage till 10, 11 a.m. maybe when the Corps starts arriving. And even if we're a little late, it doesn't matter because all hell is not going to break loose until that Eye is fully, getting on shore. That's when all hell is going to break loose. And then...
Go ahead. I think the radio stations are going to be key tomorrow because I'm hoping they take calls from people and hopefully the station doesn't go down. I think what we're going to hear as people call in, especially where this Eye comes across, is going to be hellish.
Yeah, hopefully we can pull the radio up from there, but I think even they're going to go down. I think, you know what, and not to scare the audience away for tomorrow, but honestly, I think we're going to be stuck with the Hurricane Watch Net, and I don't even think the radar's going to stay up. I think we're going to be dealing with satellite and the Hurricane WatchNet and using Google Earth to figure out what areas are being impacted. That's going to be about the extent. Because we know this from last year. We had a good Hurricane Beryl. We covered it last year when it was near Jamaica. Same thing. Everything, it was really nothing to this. It's hitting an area that doesn't have a lot of sources. So
we didn't lose the radio last year. We just didn't use it. I remember that. We'll use it this time.
well, yeah, I mean, if they just have tropical storm force winds in Kingston, they might be able to keep those radio stations streaming online. Then, of course, it moves offshore tomorrow afternoon, and then it heads towards Cuba, and that's going to hit in 2 o'clock in the morning. So we're probably not going to be covering that. I just don't see. It's going to hit a sparsely populated area of the Cuban coast between Manzanillo and Guantanamo.
And I'll tell you what, we'll do a hurricane warning show tomorrow night and walk you right up to it.
Right.
And then we'll go to bed.
Yeah. And then it hits the Bahamas on 2 p.m. on Wednesday. By then it'll be really hauling ass.
And weakening.
It'll be 110. And then it heads towards Bermuda and hits there. The projection is, waiting for the map to load here. It's kind of stuck. It gets down to Category 1. I saw Mark sort of do a video today, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to head to Bermuda. I don't see the reason. I don't see the need for that. It's like saving face. Like, it's okay to cover hurricanes without being there. You know what I mean? It doesn't. You don't have to be there for everything. I don't blame the guys that got out of Jamaica or decided not to go to Jamaica. I have no issue with it. I think this will be one of Josh Morgan's hardest intercepts, if not right up there with Patricia, I think, or the one that he was in the floodwaters saving people.
Was that Dorian?
No, it was overseas somewhere in the Pacific.
No,
High-end, yeah.
Could have been High-end. Don't quote me on that.
So yeah, Bermuda Cat 1, that's going to happen on Thursday night probably. Thursday evening.
And Bermuda, up until tonight or tomorrow, Bermuda would have been the single story without this. Bermuda's had like blood in the water all season. They've been storm after storm, either go right around them or over them.
Yeah. Yeah, for a tiny little island, they sure get a lot of cores of hurricanes, man. I mean, they're like one of the most impacted areas by hurricanes in the Atlantic Basin.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But it's funny because they're ranked way up there in hurricanes, but when it comes to majors, they're not even on the list. All right.
Well, I mean, a lot of the storms are going they're going extratropical. That means losing their tropical characteristics as they're passing Bermuda, or they lose it just before getting there. All right, here's the rain projections. Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, so let me get this centered up here. It's we're looking at 20 to 30 inch. They cut this back a little bit. Last night and this morning they had 30 plus. Now it's down to the magenta color, 20 to 30 inches of rain in central Jamaica, where the core is coming in, of course, and 16 to 20 inches to the right and left of the center of the hurricane, stopping just short of Negril. When you get over toward Negril, you're talking 8 to 12 inches. And when you're talking over towards Kingston, you're talking 12 to 16 inches. Yesterday, they were talking 20 to 30 in Kingston. So that's quite a drop-off, which is excellent news.
Well, and they're thinking that this is going to start picking up speed, and that'll help cut down the rainfall total. Given how mountainous this island is, 20 inches is nothing. 20 to 30 inches is nothing to sneeze at.
Oh, well, look, I mean, that's a dead. I mean, I knew that when we were looking at the rainfall maps. We've done, this is what, show 3 now? First show I did alone. But
yeah, you did alone, but it was showing 40 plus. It was like, no.
Well, it's because first of all, it was going to be slower moving and more to the right. And I said on the show last night, I thought that I think I remembered saying something like, I think the rain's going to be concentrated where that core comes in, and Kingston's still going to get a lot of rain, but not like the core is going to have. Because last night they were showing more rain on the east side of Jamaica than on the central part of Jamaica where the core is coming in. I didn't think that made any sense when I saw that map last night. I was thinking, wait a minute, wouldn't the most rain fall where the core comes in? Because that's where it's wringing the sponge out, is where the core comes in. That's the sponge, and it just comes down so fast and so hard, and you don't hear it because the wind is so loud that it's next thing you know you have a wall of water, avalanche of water. It's This is going to be horrific. I can't even. There's not enough adjectives to describe where that core is, how bad this is going to be.
Well, I'm gonna use a term: hell on earth.
With the only good thing is it's hitting in daylight hours. That is the only good thing I can say about this scenario unfolding tomorrow. It's happening in daylight. Now, with that said, it's going to get dark afterwards, and that's where everything gets bad. You have no power.
That's going to be a night from hell. That's why you got to get your sleep tonight, because you're not getting any sleep tomorrow. I promise you that.
Yeah, they're going to be wide-eyed and bushy-tailed when they hear the velocity of that wind and go, "Oh my God, what the hell is happening out there?" They're going to be praying. They're going to be in the fetal position, more than likely, away from windows. Hopefully, they have their windows all boarded up. They did it properly, that we don't have plywood flying all over and killing people.
If shit hits the fan where stuff starts to break apart, get a mattress and get it over your butt.
I mean, it's only luck that we're not seeing it. It's not going to hit here in that force, because this is Kingston, and it's raining. The winds are light right now. But if this was going to hit Kingston, look at all the stuff they got sitting out over here. I mean, I don't even know what this is. Like a bunch of tables and chairs out here. There's like.
That's still going to be interesting to look at tomorrow because of all the loose crap.
Yeah, there's like awnings over here that are all hanging on, barely hanging on. They're like buffeting in the wind already. It's a good thing that the core isn't going to pass over Kingston, because it would just, all this debris, oh my God, it would be flying everywhere. It looks like they got rid of that pile, maybe. What are is that the police?
It gotta be.
Yeah, it looks like they have a pickup truck. Huh. Anyway, interesting notes from today. What's his name? Slipping my mind now. The guy that's a hurricane pilot, that he was out there flying. They had the turbulence today with the hurricane.
Story that I brought up.
Yeah, it. Oh gosh, well, I'm not thinking of his name at the moment. I can't use any of my devices to pull his name up. But anyway, he's been posting all day about the. He needs some sleep. Why am I not able to get out of this camera shot? Okay. Anyway, I can't remember his name, so it's irrelevant. But he's saying he's getting a lot of sleep right now because he's been going out. He's going out again at 3:00 in the morning for another Hurricane Hunter mission. And he says it's very stressful, and you need a lot of rest. And that's the same thing for the people on shore. They're going to get it even worse. And when you're in a plane, you have an escape route. You hope you're almost certain you're going to have an escape. Although there have been a couple of recons that have been lost. There's one that was lost in a hurricane, and another one that was coming back from some kind of mission or something that crashed. And it was one of those B-7s or something way back in the 50s or 60s or something. There was a Hurricane Hunter that crashed. But anyway, there's a good chance he'll go home. The people on land won't have any escape route at all. They're in it. Let's take a look at.
I was watching TV out of Jamaica last night, and they had somebody talking on it. I've never had this problem with the pressure drops, but he was in Maria. He was in Maria on that I forget what hurricane he said, but it was irrelevant. It wasn't Maria, but it was Cat 5 that hit one of the Caribbean islands, and he said his ears hurt so bad because of the pressure getting so low. You ever had that problem?
That was a hurricane hunter or a person?
No, just somebody being there in a core.
Yeah,
really intense storm.
I've never had that happen, but I guess certain people are sensitive to that sort of thing. I don't think it's widely across the board. I've heard. It's another thing. I can't stand. This is what I hate about social media. There are people on there saying stuff like, "Oh, I lost my camera." Hold on, man. There are people on there saying stuff like, "Your ears are going to pop," like it's an automatic, and that doesn't mean that that's going to happen because somebody else's ears pop. It's all depending on what your anatomy is, I guess.
I mean, my ears popped a little bit, and I tell you that it was similar to a plane. You deal with that with a plane.
You're wondering why my camera shot's not on. My phone went dead.
Oh.
I forgot to plug it in before we started. You know the battery issues I'm having with that phone right now. So.
Well, it's irrelevant. We're replacing that phone in the off-season.
Yeah, I'm going to upgrade that and get the one with the better lenses on it, so we can have some good cam shots from the road. Okay. Go back.
Take a break, go plug that in, that way you can come back on camera.
I am plugged in, it just came back on. I don't know what I'm looking at on the screen. They've done something different with the operating system. It's showing me a big clock on the screen. I don't know what that is.
I haven't upgraded to iOS 26 yet.
That was stupid of me. I should have plugged that in before we started. All right.
It happens.
Share camera. All right. And switch angle. There I am. Bingo. Okay, back. But yeah, time for an upgrade on this thing. It's definitely the battery's driving me crazy. But no, the ear thing, the ear popping, I've heard that from some people, a couple of chasers, and they might be saying that for shock value. I have never in any of the hurricanes. I've been in the core of 12 or 13 hurricanes, and I've never had my ears pop or anything like that.
Because of my condition, I was so scared of my legs acting up, they left me alone.
So you didn't complain about anything during Adalia.
I had one muscle spasm, that was it. And that could have been because we were in the car for 12 hours. That's normal. That's a long. We didn't get out of that car until we got in that thing about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and it was 4 or 5 in the evening before we got out of it.
Right. Yeah.
We went back to where we go? Yeah, Tallahassee. A little bit of a drive from there.
And unfortunately, there's no buoys or ships. Well, obviously, there's no ships near this thing, but no buoys at all. I wish they would deploy more of these buoys out there. I mean, look at on this map here, the buoys and ship map at Hurricane City. I mean, there's a ship that's got to be like, what, 100, 200 miles south of where the hurricane is right now, and it's pressure 2962, water temperature 82.4. I'm just trying to get an idea of the water temperatures out here. Here's a buoy to the west, well, south of the Caymans, water temperature 85.6.
Bath water.
And that's it. And so,
Sea surface temperature.
I mean, it's in the warmest waters right now that it's going to see, according to the map at Hurricane City. These are 85 plus degree water temperatures that it's moving into right now. And I still think this thing could strengthen a little bit, even though it's kind of leveled off. If it doesn't go through an eyewall replacement cycle, we might see 180, 185 out of this. I've got somebody blowing my phone up on this contract I'm doing today. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, but it's 9 o'clock at night. Give me a break.
Yeah, I'm just not going to answer that.
No.
See if they leave a message here. Okay, it's the whole. They got the whole board there. They're making a board call to me. So I'm gonna have to call them. Bill, I think honestly we could cut this broadcast. We've pretty much discussed everything we can discuss tonight.
Yeah, the models are irrelevant. I mean, it is what it is at this point.
So, and just to wrap things up, so what we're going to do is we're going to go live tomorrow when the core is arriving. So if you tune in or try to see us live at 8, 9 o'clock, we might not be live because the core might not be there yet. So if you're watching the radar and you see the core coming on shore, that's when we'll be live. And we're going to use every source we can find, weather observations, Hurricane WatchNet, radio from the affected areas.
Some of the U.S. media has correspondence down there. We will show you that.
Yeah, the WPLG, NBC has people down there. Fox has people, so we'll be able to.
People, everybody.
Yeah, we'll be able to touch on some of that a little bit, and do some Google Earth shots, tell you where the areas look like that are being hammered, and we'll make the best of it. But I can guarantee you, like 90% of the sources are going to go down when this hurricane hits. But we do this. Oh, geez, they're blowing my phone up. So that we do this for archive purposes. So. Anyway, let's wrap it up here. I got to take this call, and we'll.
All right, Jim. Keep in touch with me if you need anything throughout the night, or something speeds up where you need help in the morning earlier. Blow me apart. You know the drill.
All right, buddy. We'll see. We'll keep in touch in the morning, and we'll find out what's happening. All right, everybody. Best of luck in Jamaica. We're thinking about you. Just do the best you can. Think of a safe room, and let's ride it out. Hopefully for the best. All right. Good night, everybody.